It's the 10-year high school reunion. My deskmate suddenly asks me, "Are you still angry at Lu Huai for suddenly changing his college application and leaving you to go to Beijing alone?" I smile and swirl my glass of wine. I stopped being angry long ago. If I hadn't gone to Beijing alone, I wouldn't have ditched the lovey-dovey mindset and focused on studying, smoothly getting into grad school. I casually show off my ring. "I'm getting married next month. Everyone should come if you're free." To be honest, I have to thank him. As soon as I say this, the room falls eerily quiet. Everyone looks at the man who just crushed his wine glass in his bare hand. His eyes are terrifyingly red, fixed on me, blood mixing with wine as it drips down. But I'm surprised by his breakdown. After all, back then, 2 hours before the application deadline, he suddenly changed his dream of Tsinghua University's architecture program to Nanjing University, all because of a single sentence from the campus bell. The class group chat exploded instantly. "What about your little follower, Su Qinghe? You two have been talking about being the Tsinghua twin stars since junior high." Lu Huai seemed to remember only then, replying with a hint of careless laughter in his tone. "She has my account password. She'll definitely notice I changed it as soon as she logs in. She'll change hers too. All these years, when has she ever really been able to leave me? Brother Huai is awesome. That's our guy? Su Qinghe really is your human accessory. Every time you played basketball in high school for 3 years, she carried your shoes and brought you water. How could you bear to be apart?" I didn't listen further. I turned around, stuffed the basketball shoes I'd just retrieved for Lu Huai back into his locker, and silently left the gym. That day, I never logged into that account etched in my memory. Nor did I follow him by changing my application from Tsinghua to Nanjing University. He probably never knew. He could go to Nanjing University for Jiang Xian's single moment of unease, while I, too, had a destination I absolutely had to reach. That dream that sustained me through countless all-nighters drawing blueprints was never just for him. Chapter 1. The vow to get into Tsinghua University's architecture program together was made in junior high, on the old sports field, munching on spicy sticks. A week before submitting our applications, our parents even sat together, carefully circling and underlining points in the admissions brochures. Now he changed it so flippantly, without even a word of notice. In the class group chat, De Peng was still pressing. "Brother Huai, are you really that sure Su Qinghe will log into your account and check again? What if she doesn't notice at all?" Lu Huai scoffed, with a hint of his usual certainty. "More than just check? Don't I know her? She probably checks 10 times a day, more carefully than her own, afraid something might go wrong and we won't get into the same program." His tone betrayed a bit of exasperation. "You guys wouldn't understand. I've had this little tale since childhood, can't shake it off. Got used to it." Then, another round of knowing laughter erupted in the group chat. Just then, I sent a message from a side account. "Huai, isn't this a bit unfair? Shouldn't you at least tell Qinghe?" Lu Huai's voice sounded annoyed. "Forgot. Can't be bothered to explain. If she finds out I changed it for Jiang Xian, she'll just keep asking endless questions. Besides, I'm not changing randomly. Jiang Xian's mom is in that condition. She's scared going to Nanjing alone. Having someone familiar around would make her feel more secure." The group chat went quiet for a moment. That's true. Jiang Xian's situation, with her family like that, is really worrying. Not like your Su Qinghe, a bookworm who only knows how to draw. Standing next to the campus bell, she really pales in comparison. TSK, giving up the Tsinghua architecture dream you've had for years. Brother Huai is really loyal. Reading the chat, I clenched my fists, nails digging into my palms, but felt no pain. A chill shot up from my feet, freezing my limbs stiff. I desperately wanted to rush in and confront Lu Huai, demand an explanation. But my feet seemed nailed to the floor. In the end, I just turned silently and walked out of the gymnasium doors. Chapter 2. Lock myself in my room. Those words kept echoing in my head. I still couldn't understand. How could he give up the Tsinghua architecture program he'd yearned for? We had endured so many years together. The models we built during all-nighters filled half of my small study. Just an hour ago, I was foolishly thrilled about our impending shared future. But I never imagined. The blueprint for two I had poured my heart into constructing. He would tear up so casually for someone else's moment of unease. Even if he had to change it, why couldn't he bother to tell me? Was he that afraid I'd cling to him? If he was afraid of that, then what was that kiss on the slightly cool night breeze on my 17th birthday? That tentative, youthful kiss he initiated, our hurried breaths, what did that count for? Was it just a whim of his, a joke that I took seriously? Something inside me cracked with a sharp sound. Actually, it wasn't that I had to stick to him. From elementary school to high school, Lu Huai and I attended the same school, the same class. Everyone, including Lu Huai himself, thought I would always follow behind him, like a shadow that never disappears. But no one knew, besides wanting to stand by his side, I had another unshakable reason for choosing Tsinghua's architecture program. It had nothing to do with Lu Huai. Even without him, I would have gone. I closed the browser I had unconsciously opened. Didn't look at that familiar application submission page again. Not a single thought crossed my mind about changing my own application for him. He could go thousands of miles for Jiang Xian, and I too had a destination I must reach. Since we each had our own direction, there was no need to dwell on those entangled pasts. Once I understood, the heavy weight in my chest loosened. It was no big deal. Like my mom often said, you have to find your own path. As for that kiss, consider it bitten by a stray dog. My phone buzzed, Lu Huai's name flashing on the screen. My mind resisted, but my finger habitually swiped to answer. Sue the dummy, what's taking so long? Everyone's here, just waiting for you to start. Hurry up, I sent you the location for the old Sichuan place. The post-exam farewell dinners were hosted by Lu Huai's childhood friends in turn. Today was his turn. But I didn't want to go anymore. Not going. You guys eat. Before I finished, a deliberately softened female voice came through the receiver. Why? Qinghe won't come. Is it because she doesn't welcome me joining your circle? It was Jiang Xian. Before Lu Huai could speak, Depeng's loud voice cut in. Impossible, Campus Belle. We're honored you could join. Qinghe is a bit stubborn. She gets uncomfortable whenever any girl gets close to Huai. You'll get used to it. The video feed shook, Jiang Xian's delicate profile appearing at the edge of Lu Huai's screen, very close. She thoughtfully whispered, Huai, maybe I should leave first? I don't want to cause any unhappiness because of me. Lu Huai's face immediately darkened, reaching out to hold her shoulder. Jiang Xian, you don't need to go. Su Qinghe is acting up for some reason today. Whether she comes or not, it's fine. Let's not wait. Start eating. He coldly threw the words at me and hung up the video call. A surge of anger shot to my head. I immediately dragged all of Lu Huai's contact methods into the blacklist. Since childhood, this was the first time I had blocked him. Again, because of Jiang Xian. Chapter 3. Ever since Jiang Xian transferred to our school in our second year of high school, I had lost count of how many times Lu Huai made exceptions for her. Maybe guys all like that type, aloof, pretty. While I wore faded t-shirts and buried my head in drawing, Jiang Xian always seemed immaculate, even a simple dress looking ethereal on her. For her, I had argued with Lu Huai, given him the cold shoulder. Even thought he liked Jiang Xian, distanced myself from him a few times in despair. But every time, Lu Huai would find me, frowning and assuring me, what are you thinking? Jiang Xian and I are just ordinary friends, nothing more. Don't overthink it. I'm just helping her out because she's having a hard time. Her family situation, you know, looks fine on the surface, but there's so much gossip behind her back. I believed Lu Huai. Jiang Xian's mother was seriously ill. Her father had run off with the money, leaving them struggling. It really wasn't easy. So, I didn't mind too much about Jiang Xian and Lu Huai getting closer. After all, since childhood, Lu Huai had never lied to me. If he said there was nothing, I believed him. But later, in places I couldn't see, Lu Huai and she had more and more interactions I didn't know about. Until now, even his college application could be changed for Jiang Xian on a whim, making my trust seem like a joke. The WeChat notification interrupted my chaotic thoughts. Su Qinghe, you've got guts? Blocking me? Just you wait till you get home. It was Lu Huai, using Depeng's account. I expressionlessly blocked Depeng too, glanced at the time, grabbed my backpack, and headed to school. The last day for application submissions, the homeroom teacher called for a final class meeting. Traffic was bad. When I arrived at the classroom, Lu Huai and Jiang Xian were already there. My usual seat next to him was now occupied by Jiang Xian. Seeing me approach, she showed no intention of getting up, a hint of barely concealed triumph in her eyes. Lu Huai glanced at me, quickly turned his head, his handsome face tight, clearly waiting for me to make the first move to reconcile. But I wouldn't anymore. Coincidentally, I didn't want to sit next to him either. Looking around, I walked straight to the empty seat next to my buddy Zhou Rui in the back row, far away from them. Classmates, the last few hours for application submissions. Be sure to check carefully. Make your decisions cautiously. The homeroom teacher hurriedly gave instructions and left. Zhou Rui was complaining to me about the terrible ending of the new drama he was watching when someone tapped my head lightly from above. Su Qinghe, come out. It was Lu Huai. I turned my head, meeting his eyes filled with thinly veiled anger. I looked away, ignored him, continued listening to Zhou Rui complain. Lu Huai grabbed my shoulder, forcing me to face him. Su Qinghe, how long are you going to keep this up? Aren't you tired? We're adults now, still playing these Cold War games? Isn't it childish? Forced to look at him, I replied calmly. It is childish and boring. So, stop coming to find me. We locked eyes for a moment. Lu Huai lost patience first. Fine. Can't be bothered to argue with a stubborn mule like you. Keep acting if you want. Don't come crying later. His tone held its usual mockery. I kept a cold face, didn't respond. After a moment of silence, I thought he had left. But my shoulder was gripped by Lu Huai again. He looked directly at me, his tone uncharacteristically serious. Today is the last day. Your application, check it again carefully, don't make any mistakes. He paused, seemed to want to say more, but Jiang Xian walked over carrying a laptop. Huai, I think there's a small problem with my application system. Can you take a look for me? Lu Huai nodded. Before leaving, as he had countless times before, he habitually reached to ruffle my hair. I dodged. His hand hung in the air, finally leaving with just. Remember to go to the computer lab and check. Don't be careless. Chapter 4. My heart felt icy cold. He probably thought that as long as he reminded me, I would definitely go check, discover he changed his, and then panic and follow him to Nanjing, right? Right. Telling me directly that he changed his application would mean having to painstakingly explain the reason to me, this troublesome person. Too much effort. Fortunately, I wouldn't look back anymore. Glancing at Lu Huai, who was focused on helping Jiang Xian with her screen, I left the classroom with Zhou Rui. Just outside the school gate, trying to hail a cab, Zhou Rui, seeing my bad mood, dragged me to his cousin's birthday party. Couldn't refuse, so I went along. After dinner, they dragged me to a newly opened street dance club. Upon arrival, I realized Lu Huai's gang was also there that night. Many familiar faces, the two groups quickly merged into one large private room. When Lu Huai saw me, his eyes flickered, but he didn't speak or greet me. I treated him as invisible. On the way to the restroom, I overheard Lu Huai and Depeng's voices around a corner. Depeng was advising him. Shouldn't you clear things up with Qinghe? She's going to Beijing alone. So far, unfamiliar place. Lu Huai's voice was full of certainty. Relax, I emphasized it so many times. She's definitely changed it by now. Throwing a tantrum now is probably because she's mad I didn't discuss it with her beforehand. I stopped in my tracks. The two turned the corner and bumped right into me. Lu Huai signaled Depeng to leave first with his eyes, then backed me against the corridor wall. Su Qinghe, we need to talk. He smelled faintly of beer. I tried to sidestep him. I was pulled back as soon as I moved. He pressed his hands on my shoulders. The scent of alcohol washed over me. I instinctively turned my head away. We stood locked in a stalemate for a few seconds. Lu Huai scoffed first. Still mad? I was going to invite you to the club this afternoon, but you blocked me. Then you pissed me off in the classroom, forgot to mention it. All right, stop being angry. Don't know where you get all this anger from. Oh, right? You've checked your application, right? He looked down at me, his tone softening a bit. I kept my eyes downcast, silent. While we were locked in that stalemate, Jiang Xian's sweet voice sounded from behind. Huai, Depeng and the others are looking for you to play Dance Dance Revolution. Sorry, am I interrupting? Sometimes I really wondered if Jiang Xian had a radar installed. Whenever Lu Huai spoke to me alone, she always showed up at the perfect moment. I didn't want to tangle with them. As Lu Huai turned his head, I pushed his hand away. Passing by Jiang Xian, she suddenly grabbed my wrist. Chapter 5. Qinghe, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to. You've been sulking all day. Huai hasn't been in a good mood either. Her voice was gentle, but her grip was strong. I shook her off forcefully. Jiang Xian stumbled, frowned slightly, her eyes instantly reddening. Huai, is Qinghe still mad at me? Blaming me for joining you all? She pretended to step forward and bow in apology. Lu Huai immediately flared up, stopping her. She's the one being petty. Why are you apologizing? Su Qinghe, why did you push her? You should apologize to Jiang Xian. We'll all be in Nanjing in the future, can look out for each other. Since you love looking out for each other so much, go ahead. I threw the words back and turned to leave. Lu Huai's voice, filled with suppressed anger, came from behind. Su Qinghe, that's enough. A while later, Lu Huai and Jiang Xian returned. Lu Huai still looked upset. Jiang Xian, however, had regained her composure, a slight smile on her lips. Except for Zhou Rui, everyone started teasing them for being gone so long. During a game of truth or dare, they deliberately gave Jiang Xian, who drew the task, dance with a member of the opposite sex present for 1 minute, to Lu Huai. Even De Peng joined in the teasing. No one would care about my feelings. Right. In their eyes, I was just Lu Huai's designated accessory. Jiang Xian drew the task of playing an intimate co-op dance game with a guy. Her gaze swept the room, finally settling on Lu Huai. Lu Huai glanced subtly at me, almost like a challenge, and readily agreed. In the past, I would have interrupted with a dark expression. But now, I just watched quietly. Jiang Xian was very good at the dance game, nimble, and with a strong sense of rhythm. I looked down and chugged half a can of cold beer. Watched Jiang Xian dance on the mat, occasionally turning her head to chat with Lu Huai, the two of them in perfect sync. Lu Huai had a slight smile on his lips. At first, his eyes still darted towards me occasionally, seemingly waiting for my reaction. As the game got more intense, his attention gradually shifted to Jiang Xian, his gaze fixed on her dancing figure. For the final difficult move, Jiang Xian accidentally slipped. The dance mat shook violently, and she fell towards Lu Huai. Lu Huai instinctively reached out to catch her. Jiang Xian fell right into Lu Huai's arms, in an intimate embrace. Whistles and teasing almost lifted the roof. Lu Huai's face flushed slightly as he naturally held Jiang Xian's waist. That kind of instinctive intimacy used to be reserved for me. Even though I had decided to give up, seeing it with my own eyes still felt like a hard squeeze on my heart. I couldn't stay any longer. After finishing the last sip of beer, I quietly left the private room. Zhou Rui couldn't stand the atmosphere either. He followed me out and squatted by the roadside with me, cursing for a long time. He wanted to charge back in several times, but I stopped him. No need. From now on, we go our separate ways. Got home just at 11:50 p.m. 10 minutes left before the system closed. Exhausted, I collapsed onto my bed. It would be a lie to say I wasn't sad. Over a decade of attachment isn't so easily severed. My phone vibrated abruptly. An unfamiliar number. Answering, it was Lu Huai, clearly drunk, his voice unusually soft. Little dummy, stop being angry. Be good. Remember to fix your application. Nanjing is nice too. Didn't you always want to see the Qinhuai River night scene? I'll take you sketching there. Chapter 6. Maybe it was the alcohol, but his tone was gentler than ever before. When we argued in the past, even if he gave in first, it always carried a hint of condescending coaxing. Su Qinghe, keep this up and don't expect me to go shopping with you next time. Then I would take the offered step down. When you truly care about someone, how can you bear to let things really fall apart? But this time, the more out of character he was, the more desolate I felt inside. Talk to me, little dummy, okay? You're always saying you want to try salted duck? The new campus isn't far from the old shop. Beijing, it's too far, dry and cold in winter, your hands crack easily. If you really want to go, I can take you to the Forbidden City during winter break. He rambled on, as if trying to persuade me, but more like trying to convince himself. As if changing to Nanjing was for my own good. I listened silently, couldn't hold back anymore, and asked hoarsely, Lu Huai, isn't there anything you need to confess to me? Giving him, and myself, one last chance. There was silence on the other end for a few seconds, followed by a vague laugh. You already know why ask. Throwing a tantrum all day over this, you're such a petty thing. All right, they're both good schools, and the program is one you picked and liked. As long as we're together, where we study doesn't matter, right? He rambled a lot, still avoiding the core of the problem. I couldn't be bothered to listen anymore. The last chance. Gone. Before he finished, I hung up directly and turned off my phone. Looked up at the clock. The second hand just crossed midnight. Settled. Good. Each goes their own way. Each fulfills their own wishes. Turned off the light. Lay flat. Forced myself to sleep. Closing my eyes, my mind was filled with Lu Huai. Smiling, angry, focused while playing basketball. All kinds of Lu Huai. From a naive child to a tall and straight youth, my memories were full of his shadow. Never imagined it would come to this. The vulnerability of late night was infinitely amplified. The dam I built during the day crumbled easily, tears silently soaking my pillow. Don't know when I fell into a heavy sleep. Woke up the next day at noon. My phone was stuffed with missed calls and texts from unfamiliar numbers. All from Lu Huai. I ignored them. WeChat was also blowing up. Zhou Rue added me to a brother's group chat. Messages were flying. Everyone at everyone to come gossip. Chapter 7. Clicked in. Saw someone had posted a screenshot of a friend's social media post from the middle of the night. The group instantly boiled over. Damn. Is Campus Belle Lu announcing something official? Which couple is this post-exam? It's got to be the Campus Belle. The background looks like a Riverview hotel. That floor-to-ceiling window is amazing. Pretty bold scale. Everyone really lets loose after the exams. A screenshot of Jiang Xian's social media post. I instinctively clicked open. In the photo, amidst messy sheets, the sleeping profile of a boy was Lu Huai. Even with only half his face showing, I recognized him. My heart clenched violently. Jiang Xian's caption was even more blunt. 99 steps were my lonely courage. The last step was your response. At this moment, perfect. Likes and comments piled up below. Jiang Xian's replies were also thought-provoking. De Peng and a few others were there. The last spark in my heart extinguished. So, they had already reached this point. So last night, while he was comforting me with drunken words, he was with someone else. He really worked hard. Relief washed over my heart like a cold tide. Good thing I didn't change my application. Otherwise, I would be the biggest joke for the next 4 years. Locked the screen, tossed my phone aside, didn't look again. The doorbell rang. Opened the door. Lu Huai stood outside. He had noticeable dark circles under his eyes, holding a paper bag from my regular old-fashioned bakery. I blocked the doorway, no intention of letting him in. But he expertly squeezed in, walked straight to the living room, put the pastries on the coffee table, habitually reaching to pinch my cheek. I stepped back to avoid it. Su Qinghe, your temper's really grown? Not answering calls or texts. Wait till I go out without you. Will you come chasing after me in a jealous fit again? He opened the pastry box, handed over a piece of my favorite cloud flake cake. All right, stop being angry. Bought it after queuing up early. Eat up, then think about where to go this summer. Dunhuang. Qinghai, you've been talking about it for ages. I didn't take it. He smiled helplessly, tried to feed me directly. I took another step back. Fine, ancestor, don't want to eat now, put it aside. How about Dunhuang? Long trip fits perfectly to go. I invited De Peng and the others. More people lively, hire 2 cars. I shook my head to interrupt. Not going. You guys have fun. I'm going out soon. Lu Huai froze. Why? You've been dreaming about it for years. Are you really not going just to sulk? He put down the pastry, reached out to pull me into a side hug. As I dodged, he swiftly grabbed my phone with his other hand. Stop this tantrum, okay? I didn't sleep well last night. Have to coax you first thing in the morning, exhausted. I replied coldly. No one asked you to coax. I don't need it. Lu Huai frowned. Then tell me, why aren't you going? I looked at him, tone calm. If you really wanted to discuss it with me, you wouldn't have finalized it before telling me. Besides, isn't it perfectly fitting that I'm not going? Jiang Xian will definitely go with you. Why insist on me being there in the way? Lu Huai took a deep breath, his sign of running out of patience. Yes, Jiang Xian is going. She wants to see it too. Not just her, other female classmates are coming too. Can you stop fixating on Jiang Xian? What did she ever do to you? With her family's mess, she hasn't traveled far in years, paying her own way as a travel companion. What's wrong? The Northwest is huge, getting in your way? He was clearly tired and irritated, speaking without thinking. I nodded, very nice. Have fun. Lu Huai's anger flared. Su Qinghe, I've given you a way out several times. This is getting really boring. Already bought your plane ticket. Airport tomorrow morning. Come or not, up to you. He slammed my phone on the table and turned to leave. I didn't stop him. Followed him to the door, slammed it shut with a bang. His furious voice came from outside. With your bad temper, how will you get along with roommates in college? Chapter 8. The trailing sound was cut off by the door. Back in the living room, I grabbed the box of cloud flake cake and threw it in the trash. Who cares? Who wanted to watch him juggle pleasing everyone, balancing things so laboriously? I decided to travel too. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. Kicking one should take about the same. Mom wasn't comfortable with me traveling alone too far, only agreed to let me stay with my aunt in Zibo for a while. Perfectly, I flew to Zibo that very night. That evening, sitting in my aunt's small courtyard, cooled by the river breeze, eating freshly made osmanthus sugar, I slowly began to relax. Casually posted a picture of Zibo barbecue on my social media. The next day, I was woken by my cousin's noisy excitement. Sis, phone call. That handsome classmate of yours, calling me. My cousin shoved the phone at me. It was indeed Lu Huai. Suqing, where are you? Everyone's here, just waiting for you. Boarding in half an hour. You blocked me again? Your mom said you're with your aunt and Zibo? Lying to me together? I was still half asleep, a bit groggy. No, I really am in Zibo. Lu Huai's tone was anxious. Stop this tantrum. You were home yesterday. You can still make it if you hurry now. I said I'm not going. I woke up fully. Silence on the other end. Then Jiang Xian's deliberately lowered voice came through. Why? Qinghe really seems to be in Zibo. Her social media last night was tagged there. Oh right. He couldn't see it. Believe me now? I asked. Lu Huai seemed choked up. After a long moment, I heard his voice gritting his teeth. Suqing, don't regret this. I did regret. Regretted not coming sooner. The exhaustion accumulated during senior year was slowly smoothed away by the dry summer wind, cicada songs, and the crispy, freshly made Shandong crepe. After my cousin learned about Lu Huai and me, she was indignant, daily clamoring to introduce me to new guys, finding all sorts of ways to drag me out. Chapter 9. Zibo's summer was dry and hot, but also full of life. Wandering through the bustling 8 Great Bureau's morning market, feeling the millennia of history at the Qi Culture Museum, whiling away an afternoon at Haidai Luzhongshuch. Exhausted enough to fall asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow every day, those unpleasant people and things gradually got pushed to the corners of memory. Lu Huai and the others seemed to be having fun too. The brothers group chat occasionally had forwarded photos from their trip. I had been deliberately ignoring them before. One day, my cousin finally got tired enough to let me rest at home. Scrolling through my phone, I accidentally clicked on one. Endless yellow sand, lone smoke sunset, vast Gobi. In the center of the photo, silhouettes of Lu Huai and Jiang Xian riding camels side by side, blurred somewhat by the wind and sand. My heart still ached dully, uncontrollably. Those lands I had promised to measure together with him had ultimately changed their leading role. My cousin woke up, saw me staring at my phone dazed, felt exasperated. So what if it's just a few photos? Sis, is it worth it? Take pictures. We'll take pictures too. Pictures 100 times better than theirs. From that day on, my cousin became a devil stylist. My ever-unchanging plaid shirt replaced with simple t-shirts and casual pants. The heavy black-framed glasses forcibly swapped for contacts. Silhouettes under phoenix trees, back view on the old city wall. Under her full-on operation, the person in the mirror even felt unfamiliar to me. That bookworm who only knew how to bury her head in drawing seemed to have undergone a complete transformation. Even my aunt marveled looking at the photos. My social media below was lively too. Many classmates commented in amazement at the change. The photos even got forwarded to the class group. Feeling embarrassed looking at the praise, I replied in the group, "You flatter me. Cousin knows how to take pictures." Qinghe's photo editing skills have improved. Opening a class. Jiang Xian sent a message. The group instantly went quiet. Zhou Rui directly posted an unedited picture of my back view on the old city wall that I had sent him. Sunset melted gold, river breeze brushed my face, outline clear. The group exploded again. Damn, class rep unleashed. Natural beauty. Was she sealed by glasses before? This aura, definitely campus goddess in training. The one who had been sour earlier didn't speak up again. But Lu Huai and Jiang Xian, from that day on, never spoke in the group again. Lu Huai's social media also stopped updating. Not long after, I received Tsinghua University's architecture program admission letter. Rubbing the solemn school emblem on the letter, my eyes grew hot. So many years of persistence had finally paid off. But Mom called. Grandma was seriously ill. Needed to return to our hometown immediately. Chapter 10. Hurriedly landed at the provincial capital airport back home. While collecting luggage, I unexpectedly bumped into Lu Huai's group returning early. Their original plan was a month-long trip. For some reason, they returned half a month early. When our eyes met, Lu Huai's held undisguised astonishment. Even Jiang Xian froze momentarily. After a brief stalemate, I pulled my luggage and prepared to leave. But Lu Huai quickly caught up. Suqing, you're back today too? His gaze lingered on me, carrying a hint of unfamiliar scrutiny. Almost didn't recognize you. Like this, quite nice looking. Thank you. My tone was distant. This was the first time Lu Huai, and I had been apart for over a week. But now, my heart was unexpectedly calm. I didn't want to talk more, quickened my pace towards the pickup area with my luggage. Mom was already waiting. Just as I reached her, Lu Huai's voice came from behind. He had followed me. Walking so fast, why? He was slightly out of breath, greeted my mom first. Annie, good. Then turned to me, tone carrying deliberate familiarity. Got the admission letter, right? My parents insisted I come back for the celebration banquet. We agreed our families would have it together. Hotels already booked. Mom didn't respond, glanced at me, replying gently but firmly on my behalf. Huai, Chingha's grandma over there isn't doing too well. We won't be having a celebration banquet for now. Please thank your parents for the kind thought. Mom's explanation was appropriate. About Lu Huai and me, she only knew we had argued, and he changed his application. Though I hadn't given details, she strongly disapproved of Lu Huai treating his future path so lightly. Lu Huai looked awkward, asked about Grandma's condition. Mom briefly said a few things, politely declined his suggestion to ride back together, and left with me. I stayed with Grandma at the hospital for a week. The doctor said she needed more comprehensive checkups and surgery in Beijing. I proactively suggested going with Mom to accompany Grandma to Beijing. Dad couldn't leave work. I could share the burden a bit. That afternoon, I flew with Grandma to Beijing. Naturally, missed Lu Huai's celebration banquet. Chapter 11. Even if I had stayed in my hometown, I wouldn't have gone. The night of Lu Huai's celebration banquet, he seemed in a bad mood, calling me incessantly from different numbers. At first asking where I was, later realizing I never intended to go, completely lost his temper. Even his mom sensed something off, specifically called to probe. Chingha dear, did you and Huai have a falling out? Haven't seen you come over to play since you got back from your trip? Wait till you're back, Auntie will teach him a lesson for you. Don't be angry. You two still have to go to Nanjing together for registration. Auntie prepared a new drawing board and suitcase for you. We didn't argue. Thank you, Auntie. Mom already prepared everything. I interrupted her. I'm in Beijing. Can't leave Grandma's side. Su Qinghe. The phone was suddenly snatched by Lu Huai, his voice filled with suppressed fury. You're ruthless. Missing my important day? And using such an excuse? How many years have we known each other? 18. Not 18 days. Have you forgotten everything? At that time, I had just settled Grandma, utterly exhausted. Lu Huai, congratulations on getting your wish. I have things to attend to here. Before I finished, he yelled. How long are you going to keep this up? How many times have I given in? Do you know how annoying you make me? Can't even enjoy going out. Are you planning to stay mad until school starts? Don't expect me to help you move your luggage then. Whatever. My voice was tired. But I remembered, in the Tsinghua freshman group chat, helpful seniors and juniors had already offered assistance on registration day. Without Lu Huai, the world still turned. Amid Lu Huai's astonishment, I hung up. Soon, a text from an unfamiliar number came in. Su Qinghe, have the guts not to look for me in college either. Wait till I get pursued by others. Don't regret it. Chapter 12. I deleted the text, blocked the number again. Focused on taking care of Grandma. The school's honor roll was posted. I didn't go back to see. Zhou Rui told me Lu Huai didn't go either. Heard he was dragged by his dad the next day to experience work life at his family's company. After the celebration banquet, he quietly left the class group. I thought, this time we were truly going our separate ways. Grandma's surgery in Beijing went smoothly. Nearing the start of school, her condition stabilized, and Mom took her back to our hometown to recuperate. I only stayed home one night. Mom had already packed my luggage. The next day, Mom saw me off to Beijing for registration. The whole time, no news from Lu Huai. College life was easier to adapt to than imagined. Just getting off the car, enthusiastic seniors helped carry my luggage to the dorm. Roommates were all northerners, straightforward and warm. Within 3 days of school starting, they had shown me around the entire campus, tried every cafeteria. The northern food I thought I'd struggle with was unexpectedly to my taste. They even dragged me to experience the openness of a northern bathhouse on the very first night. Just after showering, Lu Huai's call came abruptly. Su Qinghe, went to your house yesterday to find you. Wanted to go to registration together. Auntie said you'd already left for school. But I came to register. How come I can't find out your department and class? Which campus are you in? For a moment, I didn't know where to start. So all this time, he hadn't realized I never followed him to Nanjing. We're not at the same school. Impossible. Stop this tantrum. I'll apologize, okay? Lu Huai sounded impatient. Get to the west gate quickly. My mom brought a bunch of stuff for you. Has pastries you like. I interrupted him. Lu Huai, I never changed my application. It was always Tsinghua architecture. You know that. That was my goal. How could I go to Nanjing? Just then, my roommate's loud voice timely sounded. Tsinghua, let's go? Donglishan hot pot. The authentic Beijing accent made Lu Huai on the other end go instantly quiet. When he spoke again, his voice trembled slightly. You don't joke. You knew I changed my application. You couldn't have not changed yours. How could you go to Beijing alone, so far? I said calmly. I really didn't change. Lu Huai, when you changed your application, did you ask me? Why assume I'd follow you? Especially when it was for someone else. Lu Huai panicked. But I asked you that night. You said you knew. How could you not have changed? Is it because of Jiang Xian? I really was just soft-hearted for a moment. She said she was scared going to Nanjing alone, needed a friend. You know her hometown is Nanjing, but after her dad's incident, she couldn't face going back. She got in on special talent. Her choices were already limited. Not like you with good grades. He rambled a lot. The main idea still being how hard things were for Jiang Xian. Listening, I felt endlessly ironic. Jiang Xian's father running off with funds, leaving mother and daughter saddled with debt, was indeed difficult. But this tragedy wasn't my fault. Why should I sacrifice my dream to accommodate his moment of soft-heartedness? Lu Huai, I interrupted him. You care so much about her. Now you got your wish. We're just friends. No need to stay tied together forever. From now on, don't contact me. I hung up, took a deep breath. Before I could even recover, my roommates dragged me towards the east gate fragrant with meat. Thought it was over. After all, separated by 1,000 miles, north and south, with an irreparable rift between us. But the next evening, Lu Huai actually appeared outside our dorm building. Chapter 13. At that time, I wasn't alone. A guy from the same department stood nearby, Song Xian, from the student union, capable and straightforward. He was somewhat awkwardly handing me an exhibition ticket. Suching a classmate. There's a great architectural model exhibition this weekend. Heard you're interested. This ticket. Suching. A familiar voice came from behind, hoarse with weariness. I turned around. Lu Huai stood in the dusk, face somewhat pale, with tiredness under his eyes. Wearing a tailored suit, holding a briefcase, like he'd just rushed from some formal occasion. This attire, abruptly appearing at the girls' dorm building. Can we talk somewhere? He looked at me, eyes holding a rare plea. Have a class meeting tonight. Say it here. My tone was flat. Lu Huai chasing me here. He wouldn't leave without saying his piece. He glanced at Song Xian beside me, his brows subconsciously furrowed. Already have new male friends after just starting school? That's none of your business. I coldly interrupted. Should I not make new friends? Remain faithful to an old one? Lu Huai was silenced, quiet for a few seconds before speaking with difficulty. Suching, I didn't think you really didn't change your application. I'm sorry, I was too self-assured. I thought you'd definitely come with me, no matter where. His voice trailed off. That's what you thought. I looked at him. Why didn't you just tell me you had a direction you wanted more? Do you think I'd stop you? Have to play these testing games? Use someone else's future as a bet? No. Lu Huai grew agitated, reaching to grab my arm. I avoided it. I just was too confident about our relationship. Did you forget? That night I kissed you. You didn't push me away. I was planning, once in college, to officially be together with you. Even thought about getting married after graduation. His voice choked up towards the end, eyes reddening. I stated calmly, but you never truly considered my feelings. That's when I understood. You simply didn't know why I had to study architecture. You should remember how my dad left. The partner who absconded with all the construction funds, left behind a pile of unfinished buildings and debts. The lawsuit dragged on for 5 years, wore my mom down, also broke our family apart for 10 years. I looked into Lu Huai's eyes. I studied architecture, never just to stand by your side, but to prevent more people, like my mom, from being trapped in a life by an unfinished home. Lu Huai was completely stunned, lips moving. You never said any of this. I smiled slightly. He probably only remembered me complaining about my parents' divorce, never delving into the reasons behind it, and my determination. Those all-nighters endured, drawings sketched, were never just for him. Lu Huai. I looked at this boy I'd known for 18 years, for the last time, laid out what was in my heart. I'm still grateful to this day. When my dad ran off, my mom at her most difficult time, you and your parents helped us a lot. That kindness, I've always remembered. But, from the moment you lightly abandoned our agreed-upon future for Jiangxian, between us, only the past remains. Chapter 14. After speaking, I turned and walked towards the dorm building. Behind me came the sound of suppressed sobbing. I didn't look back. Zhou Rui later told me Lu Huai stood outside our dorm for a long time, until the dorm guard locked up. I thought he'd returned to Nanjing. Unexpectedly, he went straight back to our hometown. A few days later, I got a call from his mom, voice weary and anxious. "Qinghe, could you talk some sense into Huai? He's been sick since coming back from Beijing. High fever won't break, won't take medicine. Finally got the fever down. Now making a fuss about dropping out, retaking the college entrance exam. Says he wants to test into Beijing to be with you." Holding the phone, my heart held no ripples, only an icy patch of exhaustion. "Auntie, impossible. I won't wait for him. My path is already planned, won't stop for anyone. Trouble you to tell him, stop doing such childish things. Otherwise, I'll only look down on him more." From the other end, came the dull thud of something falling. Later heard, Lu Huai still went back to Nanjing for school. His grandparents forced him back, but heard he planned to take the grad school entrance exam to come to Beijing. During holidays, he also flew from Nanjing to Beijing, lingering outside my dorm or library, watching from afar, leaving behind some snacks or sketchbooks I used to like. But I never responded. Second-year winter break, Song Xian and I got together. That guy who gave me the exhibition ticket smiled warmly. The last time Lu Huai appeared in my sight was by the lotus pond in Qinghua Garden right after a snowfall. He watched from afar as Song Xian clumsily slipped on the icy surface, while I laughed and pulled him up, carefully brushing snow off his scarf. After that day, Lu Huai completely disappeared from my world. Later, our family also moved away from the original city. I got into grad school as wished. Song Xian stayed by my side the whole time. We both entered top design institutes for internships. Occasionally thinking back to that youth, it really was like a breeze skimming over a river surface, leaving no trace. The future still has a vaster blueprint, waiting for me to draw.